my tooth, and I've maxed out my dental.
and welcome to AFR F2 round 5 at Vietnam. This time we got a few more drivers. My co-commentator Batemate actually decided to race this week due to the number of drivers we had, so he's just filling in one of the spots. So he will be back next week. Why I just need to change the setting so it doesn't lag as bad. And we'll jump right into qualifying. We've got a few drivers returning after having a little break from F2s. So after the 2021 F1 game has been released, I think this will be the last Friday series we have on this game. I think next Friday series will be on the next game. I'm not entirely certain, so don't quote me on it. But we are racing around Vietnam this week. One of the new tracks was added to this game, a very tricky circuit, as FIBA has DNF'd from the session. Not something you want, especially not into turn 1 that Vietnam gives you. It could be a good thing, but Panda currently leading the field in the F2 cars, actually throwing Mikau off his qualifying streak here. Panda might actually bring a pretty decent fight to Mikau combined and PTR at the front. Currently being the quickest driver for every sector, just having a tiny bit of lock-up moments. I'm the current the team name for these cars, so bear with me, but Panda comes across the line, 48.2 for Campos Racing. Then we've got Mikau in second with 48.6. Jacob comes across with 49.3. That will be your top 3. Looks like Combined and PTR has struggled a lot in the final sector, dropped a few places. That's the top 3 that I said before. Panda, Mikau, Jacob will take your top 3 for qualifying Combined PTR. 4th and 5th with Lights and 6th. Mr. Spice, Nemo, Bateman, and Bluey. Bluey being a new driver around our top 10. Then we got Keeper, or teammate Keeper, Conrad, and FIBA who DNF. Panda will be getting an extra 4 points to his name since he qualified first in qualifying due to F2 rules. But we should be jumping in the race fairly shortly. Now with F2 qualifying doesn't matter except grid positions. I'm pretty sure you're allowed to take any tire that you want, and we got rain. I did not ask for the weather unless someone messaged it to me. Nah, cool. I didn't even get informed. That is just great. So we got rain. So we got rain for the first one, so the tire strategy will be into... I don't actually. Do you have to pit in the wet? I don't think you pit in the wet for at all. So they'll be able to go to the very end. Then if next race is dry, they'll be using the hardest compound tire. I believe that will be the medium tire, I think. But they're on formation lap now. Let them go around. So everyone being on the wet tire because it's raining. You don't want to be on those dries or you're going to be sliding everywhere. But Panda shaking up the grid a little bit here. Make out right beside now. We'll see. I'm just going to turn as the lights get down. I'm just going to turn the volume down just a tiny bit. Just can't hear myself think. So PTR and lights being DSQ'd from quality now. Well, while quality is going, I'm going to quickly run and grab something, so I'll be right back. It looks like Combined's had a little spin. And I have just returned in the nick of time. That was excellent timing by me, if I do say so myself. So PTL lights are going to be shown on the grid with those cold, wet tyres. We'll be able to see Panda being on wheel, Mikhail being on the pad. We'll see a wheel versus pad race start. See who has the better traction. Usually it is the pad that wins off the race starts because of that immense traction they get off standing still. But we shall see. That didn't help. 5 hours and away we go. It looks like the scoreboard is cactus cell, so I don't know what's happening. But it looks like Panda and Mikhail were side by side to turn 1. Looks like Panda's going to be forced around the outside. Mikhail will take the lead into turn 2 though. My scoreboard has actually completely died on me, so I have no idea what's happening. Apparently on lap 2. Looks like we have someone around. It looks like Bluey at the back has gone around. And it looks like Panda's actually got a very good exit out of turn 4, I believe, and is now in front of Mikhail just for turn 6. I have no idea what the turn numbers are here, but they go around and around. Looks like we have a lot of contact at the back. It looks like we got Nemo has actually had a little spin, so Bluey going through now. Looks like Lights has also had a little spin as well at the roundabout. Jump to Baymay is actually making a move on T-Mac down the back straight. Side by side all the way down the straight, holding that outside line probably not the one that you want. You probably want the inside line for this hairpin that is going to come up. It looks like we had a little bit of contact. Looks like Phoebus are actually, oh, someone's hit the wall. Phoebus having a little drift at the hairpin. It looks like Batemate was the one to hit the wall. Someone else also hit the wall with him, but I'm not entirely certain. Looks like Panda's actually dropped quite a few places. He went from, I believe, 1st all the way down to 4th. Now Jacob's getting in that action as well, just following closely behind PTR. PTR having a great start even with those colder, wet tyres. Looks like Panda's actually making a move on Jacob into second last corner. Couldn't quite get it pulled up to make the move. We got a lot of cars hitting that final wall. I think the whole top 4 all hit that same wall. Thank you for the follow, James on 21. As PTR gets a penalty for kind of track. Panda gets a little bit of contact from Jacob because it gets a little bit of wheel spin as well. I don't know why under PTR he says he cut the track, but I'm not entirely certain. I think that's him. No, that's Panda and Combined fighting at the back. Panda just getting ahead. This race is very chaotic and I can't keep up with myself. This is great. My scoreboard has cacked itself again, so I don't know what's happening. Yeah, this game's great. Don't bugs that. Oh, it looks like someone's, I think that's T-Mac, just drifting, the first chicane. I don't know what corner number it is. I completely forgot. Now he's got Conrad over the back of him. Looks like we had a little inset. Looks like lights is around again in the roundabout. So allow Bluey to get through now. But we shall jump back up to the front. It looks like, oh, I just caught that. So Panda's hit. Oh, that's a reset the track. There you go, man. There's something you might want to see. Panda looks like he hit the outside curve a little bit too much under power and slid the car. Tries to make a dive down the inside. Mr. Spice out brakes himself. And Mr. Spice will keep position. We might jump down to Nemo because there's a three-way battle behind Conrad. It looks like Baymate is having a bad time at the back. He's dropped down to last once again. We've got Fever going around the outside of combined through the Tristy section of Sector 3 as Bluey's hit the wall. Let's see if there's any damage. Yeah, there's a lot of damage to the left side. And play, it looks like no one's hitting the wall at this time, so everyone's taking it nice and easy. Looks like we're having a side-by-side between Conrad and Keeper through the final corner. But oh, Nemo's got a lot of speed on this guy. He's got to try down the middle. Try 3 wide, now he pulls it back. Decides to let these guys have their fun at onside. That's still side by side. Oh, it looks like Conrad's getting a little bit tail happy on the power and has let Nemo go free, almost losing again. Just had to drop quite a far back. It looks like Lights has had another incident with spinning, so looks like the wet isn't helping. It's not helping that he's not cheating for that wing damage, so he's got a lot less downforce. It looks like Panda's had a massive moment at the first chicane, and with T-Mac, it looks like Panda dropping all the way down to 8th and picking up 5 seconds, drifting the exit as well. Woo. Panda point on the show. Looks like Conrad's around at the roundabout as well. There's a lot of people spinning. I can't keep up. Oh, the drivers are not liking these conditions. This is very tricky conditions for F2. Dry is tricky in the F2 car, let alone the wet. Got Nemo down in 10th trying to catch Keeper. We got Panda as we nod on for wet. If it was dry tires, I think it will be even worse. I think we'll see probably the whole field at least spin once if it was dry tires. But Panda going around the outside of T-Mac. Camera angle's not helping me here. Panda going around the outside of T-Mac through Sector 3. T-Mac going a tiny bit wide towards the end of it, allowing Panda to get the optimal line on him. And Jacob in second doesn't look like he'll be catching Mikhail anytime soon, but we got Fever in 4th down from last place, so people are on an absolute charge at the moment. We still got 12 more laps of this race to go through. It looks like Lights finally deciding to call it and pit in for that wing damage. We really don't have a fight at all, except Bluey on Conrad now. I think I just saw Panda go purple sector 1, so that could indicate he's catching Mr. Spice at the moment. Okay. Lights fixing that damage. Size the medium tire. It's still raining. fairly interesting. It looks like Panda drifting. They have 2 car around the hairpin and the exit. Holds it nice and well to keep it behind Mrs. Spice. Now I wonder if the rain's going to get that light where they can switch to dries while it's raining and still be fine. Boy out the back overtaking Conrad into the hairpin just now. Would have switched to it, but we're watching Panda hunt his prey in 6th place. So Panda tried down the inside of Mr. Spice at turn 1. Didn't quite work out, but he got the extra traction into 2 and went around the outside, I believe. Didn't quite watch it, but Batemate is now in pits. He's also opted for the medium tire. Mr. Spicer completely missing his breaking point at the chicane as Phoebus had a massive incident coming out of the roundabout. I don't know if there's damage or I have to look, but the track, and there is damage. He's got no end plate on his right side. The track does look like it's drying up, so the drivers will be switching to the dry tires. So since they'll be switching dry tires, Panda will have to serve his 5-second he grabbed. There's also PTR and T-Mac also having to serve a 5-second penalty as we got Mick out in pits. We got Jacob in pits. Do we have PTR? PTR decides to stay out. Will we see a Panda? Panda again passing and combined. I'm not sure when because I was looking us up. What does Panda choose? Panda chooses to stay out. We got combined in pits. We got Fever in pits. Quite late on the brakes. We got Mr. Spice who stays out. Keeper also decides to do the same thing. Mr. Spice's teammate Nemo decides to stay out. What about T-Mac? T-Mac is in for his stop, coming onto the dry tire. Now Panda and T-Mac both having 5 seconds. We'll have to serve a bit on this pit stop. What does Bluey decide? Let's have a look at Bluey. Bluey decides to also come in. How about Conrad at the back? We had a little spin. Looks like Panda has had a spin at turn 1. So the choice to stay on those wets were not the correct choice. It looks like he's having a lot of grip issues. Now he's dropped all the way down to 7th behind Mrs. Spicer as Panda has left the session. So Conrad decided to stay out. Got Mikau who actually came out. He's 11 seconds behind PTR. Jacob just behind him, coming out in front of Keeper. That's extremely well for the two drivers in 2nd and 3rd. Don't want to get stuck behind wet tire runners. Then we got combined fighting Fever for position. We got DRS in there. Also Fever's going to have DRS assistance this lap, I assume. But Fever actually might get past Combined before DRS, so Combined might actually have it instead. As we have Mikau has actually gone around at the hairpin and Mikau's broken his wing. So Mikau went from a provisional lead to having to fight Jacob for that win. Or he actually might lose out to that wing damage. It will be interesting what Mikau decides to do now. Due to having that wing damage, what does he decide? If he decides to stay out and go for softer tire, which I think is the softs. Not sure how long they last. As PTR's in, Mikau goes into pit lane. Into pit lane to change that wing. We got Keeper. Turns out into combine. I'm not sure what happened. Well, we got Keeper and Mr. Spice in pit lane. Nemo actually decided to stay out because his teammate pitted beforehand, and we'll have Panda's AI pit him automatically. Drivers actually having a miserable time at the moment with the game. Looks like Keeper's deciding for the soft tires. Mikhail comes out on fresh medium. They may send a 2:03.6 now. Fast lap will jump to Mikhail to see how fast he'll be able to get through the field. Not sure if he will catch Jacob at this rate. Keeper sitting in fourth on those soft tires, so he's gaining quite a bit of time on Nemo on those wets. But Keeper does have that Fever right behind him that could pose a threat to his podium finish. Let's jump down to T-Mac. T-Mac just being within range of Batemate to get the DRS. He'll be fighting for position. We got the Panda's AI trying to fight these guys for position as well. Got Nemo in pit lane now. Looks like T-Mac getting a bit sideways on power. Allows Panda's AI actually to try and overtake on him. Might have lost DRS, and he's lost DRS on Batemate. So Nemo in pits now. We got Keeper and Fever coming across pit straight now. We've got his teammate followed by Mikhail right behind him. Mikhail might be sizing up a move on Mrs. Bone. Mikhail going purple sector 3, showing his pace on these dry tires. Going fast as a 2-minute 1:46. And Nemo looks like he'll just exit the pit in front of Combined into turn 2. So Combined having to sit behind it. What is it? What team are they? Oh, I can't remember. Oh, but there's Mr. Spice and Mikhail trying to fight for position, but they're both moving at the same time, so Mr. Spice has to give way. But Mikhail, I think, got passed into turn 2 around the outside. Now Fever's within range of Keeper on those soft tires. Jacob in lead, currently 4.2 seconds in front of PTR behind him. As it stands, Jacob will finish first. Keeper won't make it. And I don't know. I don't know what it wears. I completely forgot, but it looks like always Mrs. Spice getting a little bit drifty. What's that? Turn 11. So we got Fever diving up the inside of Keeper, giving a little bit of a tap. Hanoi sucks. Okay. Why are you talking about the track in general? Because if you're saying that, it's not as bad in race, but in qualifying it's just terrible. In race, not as bad because you build the grip to the track. So late in the race, you got more grip to. If you were doing qualifying where there's like no grip, Feeble actually went fastest. That lap I didn't quite catch it. Looks like Combine's about to set an overtake on Nemo down the back straight. PTR actually dropped the gap to Jacob to 2.9, so that might be an interesting battle in a bit. Otherwise, having spit one more time. See if Combine's able to make this overtake on Nemo down the back straight. Nemo currently over the driver with a penalty. So Combine not close enough to make that move. Mounts, or really mounts that inside curb at the hairpin. As Jacob goes fast as a 55, and then PTR goes quicker at 54.6. See what time Feeble was be able to do, because I believe Feeble was going purple for a few sectors. We got Mikau is actually catching Keeper quite quickly on his medium tires. Feeble 54.2. We got Mikau who does a 53.2, so Mikau currently a second quicker than everyone on the track. That's actually quite interesting. PTR dropping the gap to Jacob. Now it's 1.9. Last night it was 2.9. So Jacob might have a fight on his hands if he wants this win. Thank you for the follow, Chris Zadek. I hope I said that right, because I probably butchered it once again, like I usually do. Like Combine opted to make a move, but Mikau's also making a move on Keeper around the outside of the hairpin. Looks like, see if he's actually trying to switch back as Keeper goes a little bit deep under braking and gets the switch back done nice and clean, and now he's up in the fourth. It looks like Combine making a move on Nemo at the back, side by side through the chicane, and on the exit Combine losing out a tiny bit to Nemo, so Nemo will stay ahead. PTR going quickest 52.8 now is the time to beat fastest lap, so PTR really pushing it to get next to Jacob. Combine trying around the outside. I think I've heard 17, I don't even know. Feeble going quick is 51.8, but Mikau coming across the line does a 51.5 now. So that might be a fight between Feeble and Mikau if Mikau is able to close that gap. Keep it dropping a little bit off Mikau on those soft tires, so it could indicate the softs are already starting to go off. But we got PTR and Jacob actually quite close to each other. PTR just been without that DRS range, but he's actually catching quite quickly without it as well. So we could see DRS on those two drivers at the back. It looks like Lights and Bloy have a little fight at the back as well. Both been on the soft tires. Combine sizing up another overtake on Nemo. See if Combine's able to do it this lap. He got close last lap. He was side by side into the hairpin. It looks like, see how close he'll get. It looks like Lights making an overtake on Bloy at the back at the second to last corner. But PTR right on the back of Jacob now, so we're going to see a fight between those two. It looks like Light decides to go against making a move, but tries to do a switchback anyway. Well, Nemo get a bit sideways next to Combine, scaring the driver as well. I can't remember the team, so I was going to say a team. I just had a mind blank. Oh, we're John PTR, Combine's teammate, who's currently in second, chasing down Jacob. Fever goes faster, 51.1. Mikhail goes even faster, 50.5. So these two are just trading faster lap times with each other. PTR has a little look around, a little look on the inside to see if there's a chance to dive. PTR's actually, they're both carrying damage. I think Jacob's carrying, yeah, Jacob's carrying a bit more. Jacob's missing those two end plates. PTR's missing one at the moment. So that's really affected Jacob. But now Jacob's going to have to defend. PTR going on the inside for the hairpin. It might actually get the move done way before the corner, and he does. Jacob not fighting it with that damage that he's currently holding. So PTR now leading the pack. So Combine opting for the outside line once again. He actually gets the move done way before a corner like PTR did on Jacob. And now this is freed Combined up from being held up behind Nemo. Now Combine's free to go his own pace. As we got Mikau in fourth, he's actually dropped the gap to Fibo quite rapidly over this lap. I believe it was 3 seconds at the start. So that is now down to 2.2. As he goes quickest yet again, he does a 50.1. Fibo wasn't able to respond to the previous lap. Actually might jump to the back of the field because that's currently the closest fight in this three-way fight between Lights, Bluey and Conrad. Bluey being a new driver, as I said at the start of the race session. Lights just been unfortunate and spinning the car 3 times. As Conrad gets mugged by both drivers, Bluey going down the inside, Lights is opting for the outside line, and Conrad dropping 2 places. Great move. Great racing by all 3 of them to not make any contact with each other. Now Bluey is going to be vulnerable as he has no DRS to protect him. Looks like Lights having a little look on Bluey. At turn 1 doesn't opt for it at all, so he sits behind and just waits. He might be waiting for the longer DRS straight to make his move. As Conrad has already dropped out of a second of the 2 drivers ahead of him, but the 2 drivers ahead have been on soft tire. Lights gone on the outside for the chicane, actually gets the move done. Bluey actually switches late to the inside, scares Lights a tiny bit, so Lights backed out of the corner. Now this is our Conrad to get back, so we go for a kart train once again as he just loses it through the roundabout as Lights is looks like he was weaving quite a bit on that straight. But Bluey has been very extremely close. Actually might make a move. Opposite not go for 1. 2 more laps remain of the Vietnam GP, and then we'll be on to race 2 for F2, which will be a sprint race. It'll be for how long would the sprint? I'll say the sprint race will be 11 laps. I think it's going to be 11. starting to pit once again. Not sure why. So we'll just go to soundboard, have a little look to why lights are spinning. The light's just gone in for a new set of tyres, it looks like. We'll jump to Mikau. He's actually quite... Oh, he's 1.8 away from Fever, so I guess I dropped 4/10 in the last 3 laps. Or his last lap. I can't remember anymore. So Mikau actually not improving his time, but he did set another purple sector. So sector 3 seems to be Mikau's strong point. So only 5/10 the gap to Fever from Mikau. Mikau actually might be able to close this gap within this lap. We might have a last lap fight for P3 on our hands. Keeper actually doing extremely well on those old softs. Currently sitting 5th. 6.8 or 6.7 or 6.9 seconds ahead of Mr. Spicer. Softs doing extremely well not to die as quickly as I thought they would. Mikau 1.2 seconds the gap is to Fever. Looks like Mikau might actually drop the gap as he goes fastest by 2 milliseconds, so it does it at 150.140. The gap is sitting around 1.2 second mark. Well, Mikau getting a really good exit out of turn 4. Actually might catch Fever and get that down to 1 second. Might have a little look into the hairpin. He's 1/10 down on his delta. So he could be going for another fast lap. He has the potential to do it, as he will have DRS coming out of the straight. He actually might miss out just... Mikau just missing out on that DRS due to that exit. We'll see how it turns out in Sector 3, what his delta will be like. So we might see another fastest lap from Red Bull Academy driver, Mikau. He's 3/10 up on the side, so we actually might see 1:49 time come up very shortly. But we'll jump on board with PTR, who will be crossing our line in first place for race 1 at Vietnam. Comes around in first after sustaining the wing damage of the 5-second penalty. We have Jacob coming across in second, holding that second with damaged end plates. I'm pretty sure he's missed both end plates as we... I think that's Lights. So Conrad and Lights finishing across the line just before these guys. Fever coming across the line now for third. We got Mikau who comes across the line. I'm pretty sure he set a new fastest lap, which was a 49.7, I believe. We also had... I think that was Lights that hit the wall, but we got Keeper coming across the line now. On those 9-lap-old sauce that I didn't think that would make it, we got Mr. Spice now. Finishing in 6th combined, finishing 7th, and then we have Nemo just behind, finishing in 9th place. And then we'll have Baitmate and T-Mac finishing out top 10. It looks like teammates had a little moment on the second last corner though. So that will be your top 10. PTR, Jacob, Fever, Mikau, Keeper, Mrs. Bus combined, Nemo, Batemate, and Team Magnan. We got Panda who decided to quit after he made a wrong strategy call. Join the pit stops, and then Bluey, the new driver, will be finishing in 12th after sustaining quite a bit of damage in the opening laps. So for race 2, the sprint race, top 8 will be reversed. So Nemo will be taking pole position next to combine, and then Mr. Spice will be lining up behind his teammate. PTR and Jacob will be starting at 8th and 7th respectively, and that will be followed by Phoebe Mikau in 6th and 5th. So that was PTR, Jacob, and Feeble all on the podium. Just then, Mikhail finishing 4th with a 49.7. That's the fastest time to beat. He will take 2 extra points, I believe. And that will be the standings for now. So PTR taking the full at 25, followed by Jacob, Feeble, and Mikhail taking reduced points. He will take 10 points to his name. But for next race, we'll have Nemo. First, we combined right next to, looks like Jacob's just dropped out. Alright, that might be a little bit of a problem. Not sure how this will go. But Jacob still has his car on the grid, so he'll be able to rejoin. And as this is happening, I'm gonna have some food because it's been sitting here for a while. So, in the sprint race, don't need a pit, but if you get damaged, you're gonna have to pit. Basically. And with sprint race, only the top 8 will be getting points. And I'm pretty sure it starts from... For race 1, you get 15 points, I think. Race, everyone been on the medium tire, and as I said, I got it right. 11 laps of racing. It's gonna be an entertaining one. Keeping in T-Mac both gained DSQ'd on formation lap. Can't tell if Keeper and T-Mac are teammates or Bluey's with one of them. I can't tell. the car cars for those teams are so similar. It looks like Mr. Spice, Fever both had an incident, so they've been de-escaped. The car's 1 hour. I think we're waiting for Panda. I believe it's Jacob's AI still. Just quickly, if I can. How's that now? Over here. Don't know if Jacob's in the lobby. I'll just invite quickly. Number 5 red lights. And they owl looks like one of the Red Bulls out. Or looks like Mikhail gonna exercise all the way up into 3rd, I believe. It looks like Nemo has been had a terrible start. Now he's all the way down into 3rd. Kamat's had a great start alongside. Looks like Nemo's drifting turn 2 quite a bit. Most drivers had to take evasive action to avoid him. Now Nemo's dropped all the way down to 6. So a bit of carbon fiber flying off as we got one of the cars in the walls. I don't know who it was. I think it was Lives just smacked the wall as we got more wing flying off. So Nemo, after starting pole, has dropped all the way down to 9th to make us a 5-second penalty for gaining an extra spot under yellow flags. So combined after lap 1, he is leading up from Mikhail, but Mikhail says no to that. And he's going to try around the outside at the hairpin, and then behind him they got Fever and PTR both going at each other as well. Combined trying to hold his line against Mikhail, having to mount most of the curb in front of him as PTR takes that inside line on Fever, gets past him as well. So Mikhail up in the first, but combined trying to come back at him, tried around the outside but doesn't quite work out. PTR getting ahead of Fever at that hairpin, so we'll jump back quite a bit. Mrs. Spice's or Keeper's leading this train from Spice and Nemo. Nemo dropping all the way down to AFR, gets a little bit of wing damage through the twisty sections of Sector 3, and now he's going to be holding up the field quite a bit with that wing damage. I think he's missing both end plates on his car, so that's going to hinder his performance very rapidly as he completely missed his braking point. I think he's shoved teammates straight into the wall as well. And Nemo's going to let him through. That is great sportsmanship from Nemo. As is the game fixed? Are we fixed? No, we're still not fixed. It still says lap 3. Okay. So, I think Jacob just made a move. No, Conrad. I don't know what's happened. Yeah, Jacob. Is that his AI or is that him driving? That's his AI. Alright, so Conrad lost on his own. It looks like Jacob and Panda's AI is just going at each other. For the time being, we'll stay on board with Fever because he's on the back of the leader train. Leading forwards just fixing themselves now. So the top 4 all being within a little train. Fever being the closest one to PTR at the moment. GR's not been enabled, so that'll be enabled next lap for the drivers to use. But Fever going for a massive dive. That's quite a big heavy smack by Fever. I don't know what's happened. Fever's just that was actually quite a massive hit. Fever did on PTR while trying to attempt a dive at the hairpin and he pulled over for a few good seconds. I don't know why, because I think that, well, I think because that hit would have spun him, so I think he was giving up time. As we had a little bit of contact, lost a teammate going around the outside of Bluey. At the best, Mikael went fast 50.4 for the fastest time, so we got a few gaps opening up at the front. Mikael made a gap to combine, so he made a gap to his teammate. Worst track on the calendar? Okay, not just because you don't like the track doesn't mean it's bad. Actually, Fever decided to leave. Never made it to the IRL calendar. Good point. Good point. They just made the track because, you know, why not? Just make it. We're not going to use it, just make it. You're always right. Yeah. You're always right about the grammar of the write-ups, so you love giving people a boost, and it looks like Mr. Spicer just completely missed his breaking point on, I think it was Keeper, he was trying to overtake at the hairpin, and he's been overtaken by Jacob as well. Spice jumping all the way down to P7. C-Mac holding that P8 nicely. But he is contained a 3-second penalty. Mikael going fastest 49.9. Getting into the 49s now. We might see even faster time in later. I don't know. I'm saying I'm losing my mind. But we got quite a few gas so we might not see some fighting for a while, but PTR is slowly catching his teammate. Hopefully, no team wars, so we actually see a fight. Just want to have a look. Is Jacob in the game yet? No. I don't know what's happening to Jacob, but he's not in the game. So PTR seems pretty low. Let me try this. Okay. Because I had to play with this yesterday because I was messing around with my computer. How about now? What, like the broadcast volume, like the game, or was it just you're talking about microphone volume? Both. God damn it. Compared with Gus, well, it's Gus. And I have my stuff turned quite low sometimes, so that's why, because that bloody hurts. Hey man, I'm trying to fix it. What do you want me to do, man? What do you want me to do? I feel attacked. I had to listen to it back to see how low it is, and I'll go from there. But since I was doing that, PTR getting past his teammate because I was trying to fix volume, which someone told me beforehand, but Nut seems to be the only one to notice it. God damn it, Nut notices everything. Let's try 74 volume. See if that's alright. It's hurting my ears, so it better be. Actually, might turn the game down 1. more. Looks like Nemo's in the pit for, I think, the damage he got early on, so he's switching to those soft tires. That is actually home my ear, so I'm going to turn it down a bit. That's 68. See how that feels. It's like Bluey and Lights are at it once again, but I think, yeah, they're both disconnected, so it doesn't really matter. Phoebe's disconnected, so it doesn't really matter. So, okay, Combined and PTR's are only one's on track to actually fight. No one actually within range of one another. Conrad at the back actually fighting with AI, so that's that. We're having another great fight at the back as we had last week at Bahrain. Who wins, Conrad or AI? Conrad has picked up a 3-second penalty. For multiple warnings, that would be in Sector 3. Join the tight section of left and right. Combined actually following his teammate very closely. Am I able to keep pace with PTR in these cars? PTR not able to pull a gap like he wants. C-Max picked up another penalty. Since his drivers weren't able to test track limits before, it looks like they're testing them now. Combined got a little bit deep at the hairpin, trying to do a cheeky dive on his teammate. Doesn't quite work out. PTR gets further ahead. Now he's outside that DRS detection point. So we might lose that fight. Jacob's AI, I assume. Let me just check. Is Jacob AI? Yes, he is. Okay, cool. Come on. Oh, just getting within that second of PTR, but I actually might lose it. As Team-X DNF'd in Sector 3, and we got a safety car, so we might see that's actually like straight in the wall. I wonder if he's misjudged the turning point and hit the inside wall just before. As we have Mr. Spice in the pit lane under the safety car. I think he's going for the soft tires. Oh god, there's another name for me to butcher. I don't know how to pronounce this one at all. Liam, I don't even Liam assist? I don't know. Oh god, but anyway, thanks for following. I'm just gonna butcher if I try anymore. So teammate calls on a safety car for all race. Just call me Lio. Fair enough. Thank you for the follow. I suppose. Today's a tough day. I'm gonna told that my volume's all out of whack and everything. Now my mix is telling me that the output's too strong. That is just great. That should be better. Mikau deciding to pit. That is gonna annoy me, so I'm just gonna turn master volume down one more. So Combines also in the pit, so PTR stays out on those medium tires. Mikau deciding to go For the first softs, Batemate staying out. Jacob and Keeper both into pit lane. I assume everyone's gone to softs, but I don't know what's happening. Jacob still says he's AI. I actually don't know if he rejoined or not, because I can't tell. So it looks like Mikkel just going to stay ahead of Batemate on the safety car. So Mikkel will only have to pass one medium runner, which will be PTR. Coming again, a drive for penalty for speed under safety car. Bluey, some reason passing Conrad on the safety car as well. Nemo, who pitted last lap. I think Nemo actually pitted 2 laps before safety car came out. So it's like Batemate now in third on those medium tires, so he was going to be fighting for his life to keep that position. Most people at the back not being able to pit because it is safety cars are only going to be out for, say, 1 more lap. Because how the game works, if there's a safety car at the end of the race, we usually get 2 full laps of racing. I think. Yeah, 2 full laps of racing no matter what. So that means, yeah, safety car should be in next lap. So no one should have pitted. If they did pit this lap, they're not catching up. Simple as that. But as soon as there's a safety car, can't take the liberty of having some food at the moment because this has been sitting here for a while. I've not been able to touch it since the start. So some of the field just coming back. Looks like Jacob's actually pitting again for some reason, so don't know why. It's like a wing replacement for Jacob. So this lap, safety car's in no matter what, no matter where any driver is, it will be in this lap because we need 2 full laps of racing. So Mikkel and Combined in a pretty good position at the moment, both being on the soft tire. Softs were barely worn at this point. PTR kind of like leading the safety car field, and PTR will be pacing the field through all sector 3 on this lap. I believe it's this lap. It should be this lap. Yep, it's this lap. So safety car in this lap. We will see how Mikkel and Combined go on those softs. Same with Mr. Spice, but Mr. Spice being 1 lap older tires than Combined and Mikkel. So, Keeper getting a bit frustrated at the back as Phoebe's AI is actually not going fairly quickly. How's the food? Pretty good, man. I'm having pizza. So it's pretty good food. That's currently gets a 5-7 for knowing the yellow flags. Might have overtaken. As I was saying, PTR calls us, so PTR's on the way, and then he's got Mikkel right behind Mikkel, not being able to keep up with PTR on the first straight, but made just behind on those mini tiles. Actually staying with Mikhail just a little bit, but dropping a little bit back. Now combines on attack right behind him. Mr. Spice already getting past Panda, but Panda's in AI mode. Keeper getting past Jacob and Panda. Both being AI as Combined trying around the outside of Baitmate into the chicane as we got Mikhail trying to do the same to PTR. PTR having the inside will have the better entry to the corner. But on this back straight we should see a change of positions for first and third as PTR goes extremely defensive on that outside line. And he will switch to the inside line as Mikhail decides to go outside for the chicane. Or for the hairpin, I mean. I think Combined is gone inside line, so we got different moves happening as Mikhail makes the switch back happen. PTR got a tiny bit deep, allows Mikhail to get the gap to make that switch back. Combined also getting past Baitmate at the back for third place. So Mikhail now leading after safety car is Mr. Spice dropping back quite a bit from Baitmate as he was fighting Combined. Just play it safe. Now Mr. Spice will be all over Baitmate as he is now not fighting with Combined and Keeper right behind. Just holding that second gap as Mikhail's already made 7/10 gap on PTR. And Combined is catching his teammate quite rapidly. Combined might even try to overtake his teammate. It looks like PTR's gone extremely defensive. Turn one, decides to cut back to the racing line with Combined behind him. Both making the corner very well. Both teammates actually going, ignoring team orders and just going at each other. Now you hope for the sake of racing that don't hit each other and crash. Mr. Spice behind him, all over the back of Baitmate. It looks like Keeper's trying to go make a move on Mr. Spice. Or Jacob's AI is trying to do the same thing. Keeper going down the inside at the chicane of Mr. Spice. Mr. Spice being pushed off a tiny bit by Keeper. Don't know if that's Jacob racing or his AI, but that AI is like, I don't know. I think it's Jacob, but the game's saying he's AI. So it's Combined going for the outside line at the hairpin on his teammate. See who has the better as Combined tries to go all the way on the outside. PTR pushing Combined wide on the corner exit. Keeps the position, keeping just getting ahead of Mr. Spice and keeping that place behind Baitmate. So Baitmate actually keeping fourth. Mikhail's made the gap 3.4 saves. This shows how good the soft tie is against old mediums. But they do wear extremely do have an extreme wear rate. We switched Mikhail to see him take the checkered flag for second race at Vienna. Does a 48.5 as the fastest lap. PTR will come across second with Combined. Just finishing at 20,000 out. Keeper will finish fourth across the line. Baitmate dropping down into fifth. Spice, Mr. Spice into sixth. Jacob will finish seventh. Panda ninth. Nemo 10th. Ninth. I can't talk it. Panda was 8, Nemo is 9th, but Nemo will be put up to 8 because Panda's been AI for most of this race. I can't talk. I believe some drivers that were AI will not be classified, so I believe that was Fever, Lights, Panda. Not sure about Jacob. Jacob, I don't know if Jacob reconnected because I never got a message. But that is F2, round 5, completely done. I'll just have a quick look where we are next week. But that is your finishing results. Mikhail taking the win with Fast, so we'll take 17 points ahead of PTR and Combined. for second and third. Keeper will finish 4th, Baymate 5th, Dice 6th. Jacob 7th, Panda 8th, Nemo 9th, and Fever 10th for the top 10. Conway will finish 11th, Bluey 12th, Lights 13th, and 14th for T-Mac. T-Mac DNFing, causing that safety car on lap 7. So it made it a little bit interesting for us. As I said, only top 8 get points. We'll have a quick look at the weekend. So PTR actually winning the weekend. Mikhail finishing 2nd with 31 points. Jay will take 3rd and then Keeper 4th. Combined will finish 5th for the weekend. So that's going to spice up the F2 championship quite a bit. I've got to figure out this button because I don't want to press the wrong one. So it should be that one. It's probably no interviews this week because I actually have stuff to do. I'll just quickly have a look at F2, what track we're at next week. So for F2 next week, we will be at... He cuts off the flag, so I can't tell. So next week for F2, we're at Japan for round 6. So be sure to tune into that one because I'm pretty sure that's going to be an interesting track to race around in F2s and to commentate. So that'll be it for this week of F2. We are live again this Sunday for Hungary. And you'll be joined by Gus and Ben for Tier 1, and then it'll be Gus and me most likely for Tier 2. But we will see you all on Sunday. Thank you so much for tuning in to F2 at AFR. We'll see you all next week and this Sunday. Goodbye.